I've been in the hospitality business for 48 years. It's the only business I understand. And your job, if you're heading the business, is to make sure it grows. Now that involves difficult decisions. So while you practice the empathy and while you practice the kindness, there are stages and times when you have to, for example, ask people to leave. It's justified, but it's not so easy, and it doesn't necessarily fall into this whole purview of godliness or kindness or total empathy. One's got to be very mindful of both aspects. But yes, meditation teaches you discipline. Meditation teaches you to take a step back and look at things more clearly. It presents you a clearer picture. It's easier for you to evaluate the consequences of a decision. If I take a decision, is it going to work this way or that way? Is it positive, negative? And you give it the thought or the study before you actually take and execute the decision. I came here in November of 2015, and I've been coming here ever since. I try to make ideally 3 visits a year. 2015, the ashram was in its very early nascent stages. I was not a devotee. I came here with a lot of questions and pretty much as a tourist also, I think, to a certain point, because I had just read the first book and I said, I want to see this person. So I came with my wife, and I came with my wife's cousin from Mumbai, and the visit was planned for 2 nights. There was very little in terms of infrastructure. The kitchen is where the dormitories are now, and there was one male dormitory, and I think I was one of 30 people in that dormitory. The toilets are outside. The dining area as we see today did not exist at that time. A block and the N block and all of these places were not there at all. So it was basic, but it was warm and cozy. So if you sort of opened the door of the kitchen and said, I'm hungry, the timing didn't really matter. Somebody would find something to feed you. It was very close. The numbers were small. We met him the next day. That was the time, and we were all so lucky that everyone who came here have a 5-minute audience. We all had a 5-minute audience each with Swamiji. So we met him the next morning, and then my wife's cousin said, we've done what we came for, chalo wapas chalte hain. So we only spent 1 night here, and that's it. The aartis and the evening discourse of Swamiji, part of the aarti. And so we went back after 1 night. I have come back repeatedly. The lady from Mumbai never got back here. My wife came here once with me, but her heart's not in it. So I have carried on with my journey, and the others have different journeys, I suppose. My routine, my day, what sort of discipline do I follow? Am I into sadhana or prayer or etc. etc. So while I'm a hotelier of 48 years, I'm a very non-typical hotelier now. I guess I've done my bit of action. So I go to bed by 9:30. I'm infamous for that in my industry. I wake up at 4 o'clock every morning, 365 days, unless I'm in the middle of a flight somewhere. And I do a 45-minute of personal prayer, which is a mix of things. I do an hour of meditation. And I've been following Kundalini meditation in a very structured format for the last 10 years now. And 10 years down the line, I've reached somewhere. I think I have many more years to go before I get to my objective, if I get to my objective. At the end of that, I assign an hour every day to something physical. So ideally, if I'm not traveling and if I have 7 days to myself in the same place, it's 3 days of yoga, 3 days of gym, and Sundays is for cycling. So we have a small group, and we do anything from 2 hours to 5 hours of cycling on a Sunday. I read the book and I was fascinated about it. I went into it. I had a slow start, and many years later, when I had my meeting with Swamiji, I said to him, look, it's too slow and nothing's happening. He guided me on that, and he said, look, if you have this determination, you are ideally suited for this meditation, so continue on the path. And as long as you put in the effort regularly, that's good enough. So I'm following that advice in that sermon, and I hope one day I'll improve and get where I want to get. The book says if you do an hour a day in the morning and an hour a day in the evening, that's 2 hours a day, then the first and the second stages is about 2 years each. or a year, something like that. So I was following that part. So at the end of the first year, and my average with all my travel, etc., would probably be more like 30 to 40 minutes a day, if I take it across the whole 365 days. And it was slow going, but you felt the sensation, and you felt you were getting somewhere on the first chakra. And the first one, although it took me about 2 odd years to go past it, brings in very strong sensation. The second one similar, and then third one when I came to the Manipura, 3-4 years, maybe longer. I'm still not really totally across it, although I started on the fourth, but it's still an uphill battle. So your sensations, I think initially you're too caught up with that time limiter. Am I going to achieve those results? So you're like a kid in school. But eventually you get into the scenario of, look, it's going to take what it's going to take. Are you capable? Are you pure enough? Is your character good enough to allow you to proceed? And it wasn't in my case. There were a lot of faults that I had to correct. And I think I'm halfway up the journey now. So I think you evolve as you go along. And Swami guided me a few times when I met him. So one time he said, okay, if you're not going bottom up, let's try the top down approach. So you always have that help. And honestly, while you're doing all of that, you're still caught up with your work, and you're still caught up with your family, and you're still caught up with your personal issues and your personal fault lines and deficiencies. So I think it's an ongoing journey. It's a slow one. I don't think there's any shortcut or fast tracking it. And one's got to work on oneself. As long as you work on oneself, you're working on the sadhana and the goal. देखिए, meditation का या spirituality का आपके काम पर impact होता है नहीं होता है, according to me, not only in your work but in every aspect of your personal life, every aspect of your life, every moment, every decision, your attitude towards yourself, your attitude towards the people around you, family, and the people that you're working with, it's all impacted in slow but significant manner, and over a period of time, a lot more significantly. At the same time, you cannot carry forth all the values that you learn through spirituality and meditation into a business. My work is business, and this is one of the things I learned more recently through Swamiji's webinars, etc. I'm part of this. I enrolled in the MBA course, and part of it is that your mandate when you're running a business is to make sure the business is profitable and is growing. A business is only good if it grows. And your job, if you're heading the business, is to make sure it grows. Now that involves difficult decisions. So while you practice the empathy, and while you practice the kindness, there are stages and times when you have to, for example, ask people to leave. It's justified, but it's not so easy, and it doesn't necessarily fall into this whole purview of godliness or kindness or total empathy. You may be empathetic on a larger plane, but it's very difficult to understand somebody on the other side of the table who you're asking to leave his vocation, his job, his earnings, his livelihood. One's got to be very mindful of both aspects. But yes, meditation teaches you discipline. Meditation teaches you to take a step back and look at things more clearly. It presents you a clearer picture. It's easier for you to evaluate the consequences of a decision. If I take a decision, is it going to work this way or that way? Is it positive, negative? And you give it the thought or the study before you actually take and execute the decision. So yeah, it's a big help. At the same time, your approach can't be godly or saintly when you're running a business. I think the whole 10-year journey has made me a lot more mindful, a lot more calmer, a lot more balanced person. It's also produced the clarity in my head of what is perhaps right and wrong. There are lots of things you do in life that you justify because you want to do them, and it's good fun doing them. You enjoy doing them. So you say, yeah, this is the reason why so-and-so did this, so I can do this, whatever, etc., and you kind of get carried away. Meditation and not just the Manipura Chakra, but the overall 10-year period of meditation teaches you to look at things more dispassionately, more impersonally, and say, well, you know what, this is real life, and are you fitting in or not, and what should you do to be a better person? My formula is when I start my work, I try my best not to look at a screen. So my phone is on silent. I had never put on a television in the morning. I spent 10 minutes on a newspaper, but that's about it. From 9, I jump into my work. And from that 9 o'clock to 7, 7:30, 8 o'clock, whatever time it is, because you get calls from within the country, from outside the country, you're on your mails, etc., etc., etc. I'm fully and totally immersed and concentrated in the business. I had developed the ability to switch off that switch. When I finish my day, when I'm home and I'm relaxed, that switch gone off and I stop worrying about work. And also, I think I learned at a very early stage, do the best you can. Your one question to yourself when you go to bed is, did I do my best today? And if the answer is yes, sleep blissfully like a baby. And I have no problems with sleep at all. A lot of the time I ask this question, what keeps you awake at night? Honestly, nothing keeps me awake at night. So you have to develop this let's say, compartmentalization of focusing on the business with strong business rules. You're being a mindful person, a good person, and a kind person, an empathetic person, a person who takes balanced decisions, a person who studies those decisions before he takes them, who then executes them meticulously, a person who's understanding the other side and what they are doing or what they're capable of doing, not capable of doing. Can you encourage? Can you fire? All that comes to the fore, and I think the meditation part and the spirituality part help you strongly in developing that ability to look at those things, focus when the focus is required. It gives you more focus, gives you more balance. But when that day is over, you forget all about it till the next morning. I've been in the hospitality business for 48 years. It's the only business I understand. I have a management training program that we developed for our company, for Sarovar Hotels. And it's now the second batch that is in the program. The first batch is working as a system manager in different hotels. And one of my routine habits is when I travel to any of my hotels where these youngsters are either training or working in their new assignments, my open option to all of them is we go for a morning walk. So it's a 1-hour walk which gives them the chance to talk to me and chatter about anything and everything and ask me questions. And they have an open gateway to me for anything they want to talk about. So I came across 2 very interesting comments or questions this time. One was Chennai with the 2 boys said to me, I said, how's your work going? He said, it's copy-paste every day. It's the same. And I said, sure it is. And I said, 48 years in the business, to some extent even my day is copy-paste because there is always repetition. And the adage that says practice makes perfect is not so accurate. Perfect practice makes perfect. So I'm using that in one of the recent webinars. So keep doing what you're doing, but make sure that everything you do needs to be done to perfection. And every day when you do the same thing again, you say, how can I do it better? How can I do it better? How can I do it better? Till you refine it. Nobody was born with all the tools and all the efficiencies and all the abilities. They built them. And it takes a sadhana, it takes the effort to go about and do it.